Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of,
You say it this week.
okay, I'm saying it this week, Sunday Bites and Tidbits with Chef Babette and Terrah Bennett Smith. Thank you guys for being here. We're playing around with our set now. If you can see, it's slightly different. Move over to the side of the bed. We have little curtains and things. So, but we still a kind of a small team. Not kind of, we are. So we're still like working with our lighting. So, and we appreciate you guys bearing with us and while we get it all together.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi. I hope you guys are staying safe and still, honoring the distancing so you don't end up sick, trying to be too quick to get back to life. Today we're so excited, right?
Yes, I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
I think one of the coolest things about, what we do is finding people who are independent people,
Yes.
entrepreneurs. And today we have with us, how did we meet? Oh, you know what? I think she reached out to you.
She did. She reached out to
online.
me. Right.
Erica.
Right.
Erica has a hair care line and
She's going to tell you all
and
about
she's got
herself.
a new herbal line, herbs and things. We're just gonna let her talk about it. She's a mommy, entrepreneur,
A vegan.
a bad woman, beautiful, all the things, beautiful, bad, bold, and I want to call whatever else.
She all that.
She all that.
And a bag
of something with a B.
The rinds.
What? Pork rinds? We found these delicious vegan pork rinds. So
you should show them.
they're way over there.
I'll get it.
No. We'll show them. We'll show them later. We'll show you later. So yeah.
If y'all liked pork rinds
And you want to have that kind of pork rind taste? Yeah,
ooh,
we've had
Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods.
And they're vegan.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but they were very good. So
We'll get you the name of it.
Yes, we will. Anyway, without further ado, we want to welcome our friend, Miss Erica Dotson.
Hey,
Erica.
I can't top pork rinds.
Huh?
I can't top the pork rinds.
But they're so vegan, they're so good, you can't stop eating them.
Oh, they're so good.
I didn't even eat those before.
I know. We were at one of the fairs and they had some, and they were probably the best I've ever had.
Wow.
That was no meat and no pork. And we found these, and these are good. They're pretty good. But anyway, welcome.
Welcome, sweetie.
Now, you're in Texas, correct?
Yes, I am originally from Texas, but I was living in DC. I went to Howard University. I was living in New York for a really long time, probably about 15 years. I know you're from New York, Terrah. Then moved to Atlanta, and now I'm back in Austin to be near my mother.
Yeah.
Austin.
Yes. There's a song that we
want to have to come visit me.
Yes. So tell us about. Okay, so your mom.
Yes, my daughter's 27. She's grown, but
right.
You
look 27.
You have a grown up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you look like a baby.
I know.
Look who's talking.
Oh, lady, we want to talk about me no more. I'm talking about you youngsters. So how old is your daughter?
She's 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
Erica?
I'll be 50 this year.
No way.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
September 5th.
Oh, that's my daughter's birthday.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding you.
Oh my gosh.
She's 25 this year. That's like,
wow.
I'm a Cancer. I love Virgos. I absolutely love Virgos.
Wow. So we probably act a lot alike, right?
She's a go-getter. She's about her business. And I know like a few, I think I have 2 or 3 friends on the same day.
You're talking about female Virgos, though.
Yeah, female Virgos I love.
Oh,
male Virgos,
there's a distinct difference.
Well, no, because I know a few male Virgos who are wonderful, just some that I don't particularly care for. And others are very nice.
Okay.
But anyway. So tell us about how, what do you want to start with?
Well, I want to know, I'm all into the whole vegan thing. And my main question is, you're vegan now.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And as you transitioned, was it for a specific reason? And has that reason changed now? Or have you added other reasons?
I have evolved. Had I only known this years ago. So I had played around with vegetarianism for a while, right? I stopped eating pork at the age of 18 when I went to college. I stopped eating beef probably, 12 years ago. And then I was just eating chicken and turkey and seafood and all of those things. So it's been about 2.5 years that I've been all vegan, and it's been the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life.
Really?
And I wish I did it before. If I had done that before, I remember all of the times when I was building the Indique brand, I was tired. Like I literally felt like I was dying. Like I would have like a heavy feeling in my feet. Like every time I'd get out of the bed, it was just like so painful. And I was, fairly young, but I just could not understand. There's inflammation now that I know, a little bit more about what was going on. And I'm not someone who was, I wouldn't consider myself unhealthy. Like I, hardly ever get sick. And I would get sick in New York, maybe being on the train and what have you.
Yeah.
I'm not, I've never been hospitalized for anything but I just didn't feel the same. Now I feel like I did when I was in high school.
And you do feel the difference, You
feel
the energy level is off the chain. People it's totally different. But so when you say you've evolved,
yes.
What at first was it just for you wanted to just feel better? It was personal.
Yeah, and it wasn't even because how some people become vegan because they feel like they want to lose weight. That wasn't even the issue. So sometimes something's telling you something in your head, like maybe you shouldn't be eating that. So for example, when I was pregnant with my daughter Sky, I stopped eating meat. So I think that's just maybe like I always connect food with the spiritual evolution internally for me, right? So looking back, and I just told her this earlier when she was over here. She said, "I didn't know that you weren't eating meat." She said, "I thought that maybe I was one of those children that had, asthma and issues because you were eating meat." I said, "No, I was not. I did not, and not until after I had her, then I started eating meat again." For some reason.
Wow.
While I was pregnant, I didn't eat meat. And so just over the years, as I learned a little bit more about veganism and all of the benefits that it has, and I would try different things, everything was true. You know how you're sometimes a skeptic about some, I wouldn't even call it a diet, but just ways of eating. And then when you try it, it's like, well, that's not really working for me.
Right.
Really what it is, a lot of these things, diets that they have in the market, it's just for the meat industry, or it's for the bread industry, or, all of those things it's all systematic, right? So sometimes, and I think a lot of people have these issues, they'll fight you to the core saying, oh, no, you shouldn't be vegan because this, and that. But not until you try it for yourself. And every single thing that I did as I started progressing in veganism, I just opened up, and my levels of awareness changed, and my compassion grew.
There you go.
And, I've always been an animal lover, but now when I just, you can just feel the energy of animals. You can feel that they are sentient beings. And they have feelings just like we do. And I just don't understand how you can actually eat an animal now. Like it just takes me out. I can't even put the words into my
You said it takes me out.
So what about with your daughter? Did you have to, is she a vegan as well?
She's straight up vegan too. Yep. So we
really all her life
around the same time.
Oh, so she you guys did it together. So it wasn't like
that helped a lot because at the time she was living with me. So we had, we were able to try things together. I think it's more difficult if you're living in a household where there are people who aren't vegan.
Yeah.
It makes it rough, But that was really helpful. And we're always going back and forth with recipes, sharing, recipes together, going out to new vegan restaurants. It's just so much fun because we're always trying new foods. I feel like I eat better now, and I try more things that I did before. And most people think that you're lacking when you're vegan, but that's completely not the case.
No. And you know what I find that when, once you transition and you're into this lifestyle, you pay closer attention to what you're actually eating.
You do.
I mean, before I just picked up anything and I just thought, I really thought that if they sold it at the supermarket, the government had already checked it out. And of course, it's okay for us. That's exactly what and I ate the chemicals like everybody else. I mean, whenever you pick up packages of food and even understanding that we shouldn't even be eating out of packages. We should be eating fresh, live food. And that's why our palates are all messed up. Because we're so used to artificial flavorings. You know,
and I always tell people I always tell people whenever you do try vegan foods, maybe you really want to get serious about it and going vegan, it might be good to do like a nice detox because you can shift your palate. You can do it literally within about 3 to 4 days, just juicing, doing some hardcore juicing, and that will slowly whittle away. Like the sugars that you're addicted to, the meats have so many toxins in them and chemicals that are very addictive. The fast food is not a game. There's so many things in there that just will have you coming back for those French fries and double cheeseburgers. There's chemicals in all of that. So it's always a good idea because I think they'll end up giving up because their palate and the need for those chemicals is just rushing through their bodies.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because you wind up, the more you eat play food, artificial food, well, food like substances, you wind up wearing your whole system out, and the quality of life just diminishes.
You know, I mean, I've said this before. Back in '79, I stopped eating meat because I had a cute boyfriend at the time, and he didn't. But I find that I still have the same energy that I had. It's almost crazy the kind of energy I have now that I go.
And really, especially at your age.
Yeah, you know, I should be slowing down, but for some reason I just can still do and run and like just get up and just keep moving. It's the weirdest thing that I just go, I don't even understand the energy that I have.
Girl, let me tell you, a couple of weeks ago, Terrah took me to this park, and at 69 years old, something said, girl, why don't you do some sprints?
Wow.
Girl, I was running sprints like I was on a team. I forgot my old ass was gonna have to come home and soak and everything. Everything was, and look, my feet were like, lady, did you really do that?
But you did it.
But I could do it. That's the trip.
And it didn't break you down. It was like a normal thing.
Right.
You were just like, I can actually do it. And
but at 69, I'm just like, thank you, universe, for this information. I just, you just want everybody out there to understand.
Everyone to understand it, feel it, live it, all of that. Right. And that's why I share it so much. Anytime I can speak about veganism, anytime I can tell someone, and I know that I probably do annoy people at times, but I don't care because I care about you.
And I don't care.
I care about you. Then they
get over it.
Alone, they're fighting it. You know what it is those chemicals and parasites talking to them saying, that's you have another brain in your gut.
And you also have to understand the industries that's selling you this stuff. Do they really have your best interests at heart? I mean, why are we eating the types of foods that's clogging our arteries, giving us diabetes? All those illnesses are pretty much self-induced, coming from a diet. And so what I mean, come on. I think about us being the mamas and papas of civilization, and especially when I speak of my melanated brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
You brought knowledge to the planet. Stop being fooled and stop being tricked. Right. Because I'm gonna tell you who's getting over. The meat and dairy industry getting over if y'all don't want to hear it. And then you wind up with your pharmaceutical companies getting over.
Yeah, because you need one after the other one.
Everything. They're all hooked up together.
I don't take medicine. I don't think.
Me neither.
It's all liver toxin.
I mean, even when I had 2 root canals, 2 at the same time, because I know me, I don't like going to dentists. I said, you better do them both at one time.
Yeah.
And they gave me, okay, you need to take some of these whatever it was. And I don't know if it had anything to do with how I eat and how I live, but I was like, I'm not taking nothing. And I was fine.
And you were fine. Yeah.
And it wore off and I went about my life. So I don't know if it is, you know, how that correlates, but I think for me, the more I eat better, the better I feel. And subconsciously, I feel like my body's got things under control. You know, like it's doing what it needs to do. That I don't need all the
It's an intelligent body.
Yeah, it's an intelligent body.
So all of that meat, it blocks you. And it's not just a block in your arteries. It's like a spiritual block. It's information that you're receiving, and also the way that you maneuver through life. And that's really what that is.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that have changed just in my life, just picking up on the nuances of things that are happening. It's almost as I have this intuition that is off the charts. That I would not have that if I were eating meat. Now, I already kind of, you know that you may have all had that all your life, but now it's insane.
Got it.
And so, I mean, it just covers it. So we're talking about mind, body, and spirit.
It's not one without the other. You can, and even for, I tell people you can not eat meat, but if you consciously are not working on the spiritual side of yourself, then the whole package is not there. Like you want to be a whole person. And that's
and you're right. And to be whole, you have to understand your connection with the whole.
Exactly.
You have to understand that intelligence that created all of this,
the connection is very important.
You can't break away from it. We're one with everything.
We are one with everything. And to ingest that fear, so that the animals are killed, we're all energy. So ingesting the energy of fear, and that can't be a good thing.
I knew I loved you for a reason.
No, but it's true.
You on point.
It is true.
So true.
So I want to talk a little bit about, who you are, because I know you have this whole herb thing going, but let's talk about, share a little bit about Indique.
Yes.
And then we'll go from there into your herbs and how you kind of evolved. So tell us about your company, Indique.
Yeah, so I founded Indique in 2007 with Christian Jelani. And I happened to be a stylist in Austin, Texas. I was in the corporate world, and something told me I can't do this anymore. I was working in the tower site co-location industry, had nothing to do with beauty. I was closing contracts with like big mobile companies like T-Mobile. I was doing things with the FBI. And so it was starting to become very redundant, and I wasn't getting anything out of it. I couldn't see myself doing that forever. And I was like, you know what? I like working with my hands. I love talking with people, sharing stories. I love beauty. I'm going to cosmetology school. So I enrolled myself in cosmetology school. It took me about 2 years to finish because one, I had a daughter. And so Sky was much younger then. And also I had a full-time job. So I would have to go to school after work. And the cool thing about this school is that she allowed me, the owner of the school allowed me to clock in during my lunch hour. So I would also clock in during my lunch hour and do about 45 minutes.
Wow, that's dedication. That's dedication.
Within 15, clock in, clock out, 45 minutes. So that helped me increase my hours. So I was hustling, okay? So by the time I graduated, I discovered that, you know what, I don't know if I want to do all the things that other stylists do, cut and color and, hot tools and all of that. I really want to get into hair extensions. It's like a transformation just within 2 to 3 hours. And so at the time, you didn't find a lot of hair extension only boutique, like salon studios or boutiques. They were primarily doing all the services. So, even my teacher at cosmetology school, she's like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, why not? I was like, shoot. I was like, I bet you I can. So I ended up opening up my own hair extension salon in Austin. And that's all that I did. And in the first couple of weeks, first couple of months, I may have only had about a couple of clients at a time, but then word of mouth, people started telling other people, and I had a lot of clients, and I was actually using premium Indian hair. But it took me a lot to get the hair. It was like a lot of maneuvering that I had to go through. So because of the issues that I was having with that, I ended up sourcing hair, or at least trying to source hair directly from India. And that's how I met Christian, my business partner now. And the rest was history, literally. So we met So Bronner Brothers was in August. We met probably a month and a half prior to that. And so after we met, he's like, do you think we can do Bronner Brothers and launch the brand? And I was like, absolutely. I didn't know how we were going to do it. But we did it. I grabbed my cousins, my friends, everybody. We all went to Atlanta. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Bronner Brothers. But it's a big beauty hair show. It used to be really
the hair show. Yeah.
It's changed a bit. Not sure what they're doing now, but I think they're making some changes. But it used to be where all the Black stylists would go to get education, learn about new products. And so that's where we debuted the brand. And that was in 2007. Then we started opening up stores. Now we have 16 stores in the United States. We have 3 in Ghana. We have over 50 employees. Yeah, at first it was just me in a little store in New York City. Not having enough money to hire anyone, so I'm by myself. And then eventually, I was able to get an intern. Then the intern, I was able to give her money. Then we had to hire someone else. I mean, we just started getting so much traffic.
How many employees?
It's over 50 employees.
I love you. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Retail stores, and then our headquarters are in Boston. And the great thing about our company is we're the first company to actually brand premium hair. So when I'm talking about premium hair, I'm talking about hair from India that has the cuticle intact. We also have hair from Vietnam and Cambodia, but we started out with Indian hair. And this hair comes from the temples of India. So I don't know if you've ever heard about the sacrifice of the hair. Yeah. They donated to the temple. Yes. So that's where we get our hair. And then we have our own factory warehouse in India. And they actually take the hair and they put it on webs, make wigs and closures. And it's just amazing, like the progression. So we started out with 3 textures of hair. And now we have, well over 15, 16 textures of hair. And it's so nice to, women, hair is the first thing you see when you see someone, right? And so not saying that we as Black women need hair extensions to feel better about ourselves.
No, not at all. But
I love my natural hair. However, in the, when you're working and you have children and you're active and all of those things, you want to have options, and you can switch it up and you can change it up like you wear your clothes, like you switch up clothes, right? So I consider hair as fashion.
It's fashion.
It's fashion, honey. And I think,
period.
And I think that, especially as Black women, with the whole natural hair movement and all that, and people who are for that don't, get the extensions and stuff. This is how I look at life. Is so short.
Yeah,
life is this short.
Yeah.
And if you want to change your earrings, or if you want to change your hair, it doesn't mean you don't like the hair that you have. Sometimes it's just, I want to do something different, or I want to,
or maybe you just want to use your face as a canvas, and
right. It's just all kind of things that we do because we only get this trip once around that we know of. And right now in this body. Right. So if this week I want to be this and the next week I want to be that.
Yeah, right.
Why don't we just
2 weeks ago I had curly short blonde hair. And then we all play with dolls and Barbies. Why would they change?
But it's so taken as like this self-hatred thing, when to me it's not at all. It's just, it's flavors and textures of life.
Well, look, exactly. It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. You know what?
And we've always adorned ourselves. We've always painted ourselves. Always.
We change clothes all the time. We buy outfits to enhance, we lose weight. Right. We do all of that because we want to feel good about ourselves. So I don't have an issue with whatever makes sense for you, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. It's like, if I'm not hurting you, then just let's stay in our lanes.
And stop eating meat.
Right.
I'm hurting you.
But I'm gonna tell you about my piece I got from Indique. I love that piece. And it's just holding up. It's so beautiful.
It's so pretty on you.
Yeah, it really is a pretty
piece. I love you with the wraps. I like you with, that's the thing. So
yes.
Yeah. Walking in
So anyway, another question. Okay, so now you have Indique. Indique is doing well. Now you guys had something with Chaka Khan, right?
Yes, that was really exciting. So it's so amazing how things happen. So over the years, mind you, we've been in business over 14 years. So whenever anyone would interview me, they would ask me who my hair icon is, and I would always say Chaka Khan. Little did I know that I would actually have a collection with her.
I know, isn't that something?
Cloud 9, and one of my favorite singers. So you know, I was like, okay, this is really happening. When we first met on set, we had our campaign shoot, and I was like, I can't believe this is really happening.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's great. That's
congratulations. She has a line of wigs. One is iconic curl and the other is iconic straight. And it's big hair. It's a lot of hair on these.
That's Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan hair. You know, that's Chaka Khan. And you know what? And it's so funny because so many people say, well, that's for stage. It's like, you know, life is a stage. Everything that we live is the script that, yes.
Yes, love it.
Script. We know the script. Let's just take
I'm performing right now.
Thank you, Mark Gailmar. He says, love it. 3 beautiful vegan women of color, beautiful on the outside and the inside. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. So now you're doing herbs. Tell us about your herbs. What's going on with these herbs? Tell us more about that.
You see how it's saying I've evolved. So I know a lot of vegans don't really talk about herbs. So I'm trying to get the word out about that. So if you think that you feel bomb now, just being a vegan, take some of this.
What is that? Tell us.
This is just one of the herbs. So let's for example, burdock root. This is one of my favorites. Burdock root is a great herb. So if you work out a lot, and you tend to get sore, we're all still going to get sore, even if you're vegan. For some reason, it takes that soreness away. Like
burdock root after my
and then you'll be saying, I've been sprinting every day, Erica.
So how did you how are you discovering? Do you have a garden of herbs? Like what are you?
So I have a couple of things going on. So I do have a garden in the back with some key herbs that I like to use often. One is mullein. Now the reason it's so crazy. So when this COVID mess hit, I felt like I had like my ancestors like just charging at me on my bed, like telling me like, plant some seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the craziest thing, y'all. I'm not kidding. So I researched on a special herb called mullein that actually goes into the small little areas of your lungs and clears it up. And it also protects your lungs from anything that gets in there. With mullein, you can take it as a tea. You can also smoke it. Some people smoke it. It's not going to get you high or anything, but it's and so, and the leaves are really huge and they're beautiful. They feel like velvet. And so that's one of what happens is when you're an herbalist, you become attached to some plants. Plants, they actually speak to you. You know, they just like, I almost feel like they're not sentient beings because, you know, we can actually consume them, but they do have an energy and they bring in vibrations from the sun. So anytime, like say with my vegan juicing, I always say that I'm taking in some liquid sunshine, right? That sunshine is going straight to my cells.
I love it.
Nourishing me. So the beauty of the herbs is, we're not going to have a burdock root casserole, right? But burdock, we don't want to forget about it. And so if you think about what God has given us, right? We can't overlook all of the other things that we're not going to put in a pan or put in a juicer. So the reason why herbs and herbalism is so important is because we're able to utilize all of the plants that have been provided to us by God, and we can consume them and use them for different purposes. So we've got something like burdock for inflammation, perfect for inflammation. Even so, rose, if you think about rose, say your heart is closed, say you had a really bad breakup, say you just feel a little bit bitter, take some rose tea. Rose is a heart opener, right? Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Mugwort, say that you're trying to think about a business idea. You just really want to start a business. You have some ideas that you're tossing around. You're not quite sure where to go with it. a lot of my ideas come to me in my dreams, and sometimes I want to remember you. Yeah, I want to remember my dreams. Mugwort.
Really?
Mugwort.
I don't have no dreams.
You don't have dreams?
I don't remember shit when I sleep.
So she's gone.
You have some mugwort. Wow, you sleep hard because you're always moving and.
No, because she smokes pot.
I mean, indica. I mean, you know, I'm out. I don't remember nothing. It's just time to wake up now.
Well, I don't know if you can smoke mugwort or not.
No.
But you could probably throw that in the mix. Hey. But and ashwagandha. So this is like I said, you're not going to be.
What's that called?
Ashwagandha.
What is that?
Well,
spell it so I can understand it. Spell it.
Yeah, so it's ASHWAGANDA.
Ashwagandha.
Yes.
So what is that?
You only take the root. So this is an adaptogenic herb that covers a lot of things. So anytime you have an adaptogen, that is going to cover things like lowering your blood pressure. It's also going to help you sleep well at night. We know you don't need it, Chef. But also it's a great endurance enhancer for when you're working out. This is great. And I discovered when I mix, what I'll do is I'll take Gayasa. That's another herb that I'll take in the morning. It's a great alternative to caffeine and doesn't have all of the
right.
Like bring you down at the middle of the day and all that. If you take Gayasa, mix that with a little bit of ashwagandha, it's amazing. I usually try to run about 3 miles every morning. And when I started taking that combination, bomb.
It's great.
Yeah. And there's also other ways you can take in herbs with tinctures, which I make. And so these, they basically have to sit for about 6 to 8 weeks. And it's a quick dose of the herb. So you're not taking a tea, you just take drops of the herb and it goes straight to your bloodstream. So there's so many ways that you can take in plants through eating as a vegan. You can apply them on your skin like the oils, you know, the essential oils, or you can take them like as a tea or as a tincture. There's also there's all sorts of things. The herbalism world is huge. I mean, we could go on and on.
Henrietta Collins is saying that it's also good for anxiety.
Yes, it is. Oh, so you take that? Oh, they can't write back.
Right.
Yes, it's really good for anxiety. And this is a great time because I know a lot of people are on edge.
Yeah.
You're on edge, you know?
Yes.
And the beauty of the herbs too is for building up your immunity. So elderberry is probably one of the most important herbs that you can take. And it's actually has like a sweet taste to it. I made a dessert using it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you pack some?
That looks good.
What is it? I'm hungry.
I've got some coconut almond granola. It's just a layered dessert. It's not topping yours, Babette, because you're like the dessert.
Right now, beautiful and it looks delicious.
Vanilla almond yogurt. I took some peaches and I put them in the what do you call the air fryer? You know, the dehydrator, not dehydrator, but the air fryer. And it made it put cinnamon on top. And then I also put some vegan Cool Whip. But the beauty of this, I'm about to get my immunization on because I have some elderberries that I boiled down in some rice syrup with cherries and a little bit of peaches. And I'm about to go to town with this. I'm about to.
Wow, you need to give us that recipe.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the recipe.
Okay, because that looks good. So
we come to Texas.
We're coming out to visit you.
You need to come soon. And I know you last year, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to.
We were trying to make everything so bad last year.
Love it. If you all come, I'm going to take you on the lake and we're going to go paddle boarding.
I love it.
Okay.
I actually want to visit the shop and get that hair. That hair.
You want to visit that hair, right?
I want to go see
we're gonna go.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Can I ask you a question? So when you want to when life, sometimes just things like, for me, there's so much going on in the world. And the other night I had to shut it down because I saw where some young Black guy, they found him hanging from a tree.
Yeah, you got two people hanging and one person shot.
And it ripped. I was in the middle of having a great evening, and then all of a sudden it's almost like somebody just stabbed me. And I have to just shut it down till I can get myself back together. I was saying, I wish I had some alcohol. I wish I had something just to take the edge off. What kind of herb would you have suggested?
Yeah.
Indica.
So I would do a mixture of lavender.
Yes.
Lavender, but you can actually take it as a tea. I would do that ashwagandha because that's like our listener said, for anxiety, calm you down. It'll give you some peace of mind. And I would probably even do a little bit of Tulsi. This is one of my favorites. It's also called holy basil. You've probably seen it. People cook with holy basil. Before. But it's a great herb for the evening. And it has a really nice taste to it. Some herbs are going to be bitter. So what you'll do is you'll combine other herbs that will kind of take off that bitter edge.
Say that.
Okay. And there's a question here. Yawarita, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right. Sutherland. She's saying they're saying it's not really an herb, but have you heard of Shilajit?
I know exactly what she's talking about. Now that I've been researching, so any of those herbs that are mind altering, this is what I've heard about it. I just kind of want to do a little bit of research and take my time on it before I, dive into it. But I definitely want to order some of that.
And you're saying mind altering, like weed is mind altering, or
not exactly like
somebody like me, right?
There are some herbs and even mushrooms, really, a lot of them that you can take that can actually take you to heaven and back. Yeah. And sometimes you might go down to hell. And like sometimes, I'm just being honest. Sometimes you don't know like where you're going to go and what you're going to bring back with you.
That's true. How about a shot of wheatgrass juice and a giant green juice?
I love
holy basil and ashwagandha are wonderful. What was the third one you mentioned?
Oh, so holy basil, ashwagandha, and then they call it either, it's called Tulsi. So holy basil and Tulsi are the same things. Is that what they were asking? The third one?
Elisa Beck. She was just saying, what was the third one you mentioned? Ashwagandha and holy basil.
And holy basil.
Yeah, so there was a third one. So wow, so are you growing these yourself now?
So I'm growing ashwagandha, echinacea, elderberry, and mullein right now.
And how do you have to have a particular place, or is it in-house?
And that's why I said God's so amazing. So these thrive literally anywhere.
Oh, nice.
And that tells you already that you're supposed to be taking.
Yeah.
Anything that thrives in a crack of concrete.
Yes.
That means that God is saying, you need to be taking this. It's growing in the middle of some concrete. Why aren't you listening to me? You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
incredible.
It's almost like dandelions. A lot of people, at least where I used to live, they would try to get rid of them. I'm like, no, I was telling the guy, no, leave that. He's like, are you crazy, lady? Those are weeds. I'm like, no, they're not weeds.
So how did you even know, like when you're walking around and you're going, oh, that's dandelion, they look like weeds. How did you know that?
A lot of them look like weeds, but in herbalism, you start learning what the weeds look like. Yeah. And dandelions actually, because they have the beautiful yellow flowers. And yeah.
She's so beautiful.
Who is this one? Oh yeah, she said, yes, Tulsi equals holy basil. Something.
Yeah. And it's the same thing.
Thank you. She said, thank you. Wow, this is so informative. Because see, I'm trying to find something because I don't smoke weed. I'm trying to find something that
so I would take the mullein because it's very relaxing. And I mean, it's not going to get you high, and you don't want that, right? So
I don't mind a buzz. I just don't, because sometimes you just want to be separated from everything, but right. For me, it's not a weed thing for me. You know what I mean?
And there are tons of smoking herbs available out there. But the beauty of it is that you're also opening up your congested airways if you have any congestion, and you're also protecting your airways from any of that critter stuff that's out there right now.
Wow. So what else is going on? Like, what's next for you? So you're working on your, where do you see this herbs business? Is it going to be a business for you? It's just your personal thing?
So my daughter, she's also into this heavy.
Wow.
So I started taking classes first, just so I'm one of those researchers, and your daughter's probably the same since we have the same birthday.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Like I can just, that's pretty much all I do.
Some of these babies.
So I just wanted to know what I like to know when I'm taking, so and then through that, as I started discovering things, I would make her teas, and she started asking me for some of the herbs and making her own teas. And I was like, wait a minute, you're using up my teas. Go buy some more, So we started using these teas, and she became so interested because she noticed the results. And she was just like, Mom, she's like, can we do something together? Like, we are type of people.
Oh, that's so cool.
We want to share, just like with the veganism, we just want to share what it's done for us and the benefits of herbs. So we're actually going to launch our own line coming soon in August.
Well, yeah. So we have to have you back on when you do. So
definitely.
Yeah, we have to have, but I think
that'd be great.
I think it's so wonderful that your daughter is so encouraged by what you're doing. You are with her, like I say, wonderful. You as teachers, as parents, we come here to guide, basically to guide our kids.
Yes.
And it's so nice when the student becomes the teacher again, because I find that all the stuff I taught my kids now, when I get stuck, they come back and they teach me.
Right. And that's exactly what she does for me.
Yeah, it's wonderful. That is great.
Yeah.
So do you have is it indique herbs, or is it a whole new?
No, I mean, that actually kind of sounds nice. It's called Plant Queendom.
Oh, I like that. Plant Queendom.
And I thought, like, okay, you've got the animal kingdom, you've got all that. Plant Queendom.
Right? I like that.
As women, we are nurturing. And I don't know, I always see these images of me with these big bowls of beautiful herbs, and I'm just serving them to people with teas. And I said, man, that's some queen stuff right there, right?
But it's going to be great, Erica, is when you have that all set up, and now when people come to your salons,
yes, we have herbal tea.
And they come to the section while they're waiting. You have some. Ma'am, how are you feeling? Okay, we're gonna, complimentary such and such and such. This is going to anxiety,
a little bit of a cough. Well, now you can't even cough.
No, hold your cough. Here's some tea. Right. Don't cough. So what is the temperature out there in Texas now for all that's going on?
Hot. That's why I love the Cali weather. There's nothing like, because it's hot, but it feels good. Like you don't feel like you're gonna pass out.
Well, and what I meant was temperature as far as the climate, as far as what's going on with the with the world.
Oh, okay. So this is the thing. So I've been telling a lot of people, and I've even had a few people visit, and they're like, "Is it anything going on here in Austin? Like with Austin's one of those liberal cities, per se. It's almost, they sometimes compare Austin to, I guess, Colorado and Los Angeles, if you were to think of a city in Texas.
Really?
As opposed to a Dallas or Houston. We've got everyone's boating and, running on the trails at the lake and,
That's LA.
Yeah, that's like LA.
It's LA.
Especially out where I am. Because we're kind of spread out and it's very green.
You have a lot of space.
So people are out doing things, but they're not, there's nothing really open.
And that's what I like, because I get out, but, I have to, do my runs, and I have to get into nature. So this is a great place for me to be. Now, I was living in New York for a really long time, and I know that it's very different there. Yeah.
So what is your go-to vegan meal? Like when you say, I really feel like every morning, this is the weirdest diet. I have sauteed kale and lentils.
Yes, this baby here.
I wanted to make those yesterday.
Sauteed kale and sauteed lentils.
What in lentils?
Huh?
What was it? You said something.
Just sauteed kale and sauteed lentils.
Sauteed kale and
okay. I could eat that every morning.
And they're so delicious, but you know that's what you're gonna eat.
Okay, so how are you seasoning? What's the flavor?
I just put a little sea salt on it.
Girl, and let me tell you, my girl here, when it's time to eat, you know that within 5 minutes after she says, okay, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go down here and fix her something to eat. 5 minutes of that, she got the food ready. She cooked faster than anybody I know.
You know, that's just growing up because I always have to cook and I'm a New Yorker, so I have that kind of energy. Still that energy. It's like
exactly.
I'm serious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So what is your go-to meal? What's your go-to meal?
Being originally from Texas, we had a lot of Tex-Mex food. That's
true, huh?
Different than the Mexican food in Los Angeles. I think it's more like a sea-based, like a coastal type of Mexican food from what I've heard. Is that not the case?
I don't know.
Anyway, different here in Texas. So I always crave Mexican food, but more Tex-Mex food. And you can have like it from tacos to enchiladas to quesadillas. That flavor I'm gonna want, at least twice a week. And then spaghetti is always like something, you just can't really,
So are you? I found that as I get older, I don't care for a lot of bulk when it comes to eating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like big bulky plates of food.
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, a big bulky plate of kale. She talking about I do.
No, it depends on the food, but I do.
Actually, I go for nutrition.
Yeah.
I have fun with food. But I mean, come on, at my age, I gotta get everything out of my food that I can get out of my food. And I don't want to sit down to 3 big giant plates of food a day. That's nuts.
No, I couldn't do that. I ate 1 big giant plate a day.
Oh, like 3 a day.
What about the food you eat?
Yeah, but I can't even eat like that.
It doesn't come through you. It doesn't pass through you. You're just blocked up and bloated.
Exactly. And I usually do a fruit smoothie in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat breakfast, like that.
Well, you're breaking a fast, so you shouldn't.
Snack or meal, nothing major. And, after that, maybe around 2 o'clock or so. And then I'll have my dinner, later in the day. I feel like I'm not eating as much as I was though since.
Yeah, that's the point.
Is it me?
Because the message to the brain, especially if you're getting nutritionally, if you're getting what you need, the message to the brain is that your cells are fed. That's the most important thing. That's why I juice so much,
That has to be it. Yeah, that has to be it.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. Now I just I'll have each week, 1 week it was olives. No, literally. I lived off olives and licorice, black licorice.
Oh, girl.
That was the worst. I got so tired of eating food and cooking.
And I was about to mention that because I saw one of your posts and I was cracking up. You're like, I'm so tired of eating. I was like that too.
Yeah, you just like
okay, we're gonna cook this and cook that. It's like, I don't want anything
else. So it was black, it was green olives, it was olives with garlic in it. And then when I switched off that, I'd eat black licorice. And then I went to, now I'm Brazilian nuts and dates.
What is going on?
I try to force myself to have, I haven't had a meal today. I had my Brazilian nuts and dates. And I'm eating some beef. And that's it. So, but I'm going to go make some lentils or something because I'm going to be hungry. But I don't feel the need. I think after a while you just cook. God, if I have to choose something else, I think I'm going to scream.
You're nourished. You're good.
Yeah, really. I feel great. I don't feel and still have the energy.
You don't get hungry. Like people think we're starving. I don't look like I'm starving. Trust me.
Neither do I. I'm the same way.
Yeah, because they think because you're vegan, you're going to all be skinny and look. No, vegans have bodies.
Try it, honey. Try veganism.
Vegans has bodies. So,
go ahead.
So, what do you want to leave us with? We're winding down. I can't believe we're almost down to our last 5 minutes.
So much fun. So I am going to give out samples to the first 10 people that go to plantqueendom.life and provide.
No, I'm just kidding.
Plantqueendom. I'm going to send you all something regardless.
Look at me.
I'm going to throw in an Indique certificate so you can get some amazing Indique hair.
Oh, she's so sweet, y'all. She's so sweet.
If you happen to be a male listening, please leave your email address because you can always give that certificate to one of your loved ones who happens to love wearing hair extensions. So I got everybody.
Question for you from Sutherland again.
So what's the best herbs for kidney and gallbladder health? Do you know?
Okay, so that you want to be a little bit careful with that because some herbs, remember, these herbs can be really, really strong. So there are a few herbs that cover everything. Ashwagandha still is another one that you can take that will help cover that. But what you can do is if you email me at erica@plantqueendom.life, I'll pull up some things for that issue that you may be having, and I'll send you over some options.
And make sure you check the spelling of her name.
And you're like, oh Lord, I feel worse. So.
Yeah, make sure you check the spelling of her name to make sure that it's because people spell it differently.
Yep, ERICKA @plantqueendom.life.
Right.
Love it.
And Queendom is QUEENDOM or UM?
NOM.
Okay, because people like to change the spellings, Okay, so you guys make sure if you want to get some free, information and some herb samples, the first 10, you said 10 people?
Yep, first 10.
Well, sign up 5 times.
Yeah,
that 5 times and give them away as gifts.
Yeah. And that's all right.
Yeah, but so you got that going, you got your Indique going. Anything else? Nothing? Or is that enough?
A lot.
That's a lot. That's a whole bunch.
Saying
about being this.
Yeah, and you're living the life and you look fabulous. You look wonderful.
You all do as well. It's been a pleasure, and thank you
Thank you so much for jumping on. We have to do some more things together.
We do. I'm excited. Yeah.
When we come out there, we're going to plan a whole live fun.
Ooh, yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah. Like a host. Follow us for on our trip. We're going to be like Oprah and Gail.
Yeah,
coming out on our trip.
Series. I love it.
Thank you. And then we're going to pick up on our girlfriend, Erica. We all just going to hang out together and be silly and fun. Wait, one more question. Love y'all. Thanks for the information. Any other questions here? Who's mother and daughter? Well, no. None of us are. I don't know who's.
My daughter's not here.
But I just want to say, Erica, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I hope all of our listeners, our viewers enjoyed you. I know they did. We certainly did. You're so full of information. That's my daughter there. Is it .com? She says that's Ebony Davis. Is it .com?
Yeah, it's .life. Plantqueendom.life.
Got that, Ebony?
Okay, and Yawaridi said this is how you pronounce her
Yawaridi.
name. Yawaridi. Thank you, Yawaridi.
Love that name.
Sorry we butchered it, but we're kind of far from the screen too.
And can I ask all of our viewers to please share this? You'd help us out so very much by sharing it. But girl, you're awesome. I cannot wait to come and hang.
I just think it's fabulous that to see our Black women doing their thing. I mean anybody, but especially us. Starting a business, an idea, and taking it from this in here to fruition.
Well, because we don't get a lot of help with that. If you don't have any money, normally we don't get any help. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. You have all the help you need within yourself.
You sure do.
You don't have to worry about anything out there.
And social media. And
it'll happen.
You desire so much power within yourself, the power of thought. Remember the book, The Secret?
Yes.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm. So we want you all to, if you got an idea, start it. This is the perfect time when you're in your house. Go for it.
I'm sorry, baby.
I would still be working in the tower site co-location industry.
See, that's right. But if you're all thinking about becoming what you are naturally, and that is vegan as a species, then get on it. Do it. You're going to love it. And you're going to help your planet home, and you're going to help all your sentient brothers and sisters to be able to live their life as they were put here to live it.
And there's so many great recipes now. Like when I first started, when you just ate
Can't go wrong.
So many good things
you can eat whatever.
You can eat whatever and not miss a beat. So, Erica, thank you so much. We're going to definitely come out as soon as we can all get places safely and have something to do. Everybody, make sure you follow Erica
and share.
Do
you want to tell them all your Instagram-y stuff?
Yeah, so it's Erica Dotson. That's my personal ERICKADOTSON on Instagram. And then I Love Indique, ILOVEINDIQUE on Instagram. And then also plantqueendom.life.
Love it. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Erica. You're gorgeous.
Thank you, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Not wrong.
Yay!
Right.
This was so wonderful.
Hope that was informative for you guys.
Yes.
You know, next week
it.
we're having some vegan ice cream and vegan pound cake.
Honey.
So
y'all better check it out.
With Pashan. Pashan. And her ice cream is in the Four Seasons. I was there one day for a meeting and I ordered some.
Was it amazing?
It was also amazing because I was in the Four Seasons eating vegan ice cream.
There you go.
And we were eating it like this. So we're gonna talk about desserts and just sharing a whole lot of information with all of you. Hopefully something that will spark you and kind of show you that there's you won't miss a beat if you change your diet.
And I promise you soon, once I get my little setup at work with lighting and everything, we'll be able to share some recipes with you a lot more often. So just bear with us. This thing is growing. You guys are helping us out a lot. Trust me, when you tell your friends and you share this thing, it helps us to just get bigger.
And we do it because we love it, and we would do it because we ask, but we're also having a great time. And I'm learning so much too from everybody that we have on. And I can't wait for the doctor series. Because
that's going to be great.
Really talking to doctors and people who've cured others without the Western kind of medicine situation, So this is going to be great. We thank you so much for joining us. And
for another
one last question. A few weeks ago, John Sally,
what did he
mention a retreat? Do you have any info about that?
Well, we can get it.
We can get it. Or you can just go on his page and type in, but we'll see what we can find out for you. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll make sure we mention it
we'll mention it next week. Oprah should Oprah should develop a vegan cookie show with you. Tell her.
That's right. Let her know.
Shoot, we that's what I'm saying. Anyway, tell her. Come on.
But you're going the wrong way.
Well, okay. Anyway, thank you guys.
And we
about to go get some food because
we're gonna get some kale and some lentils in 5 minutes.
Oh God, no! Kale and lentils is a breakfast meal. It's not the dinner meal. That's what I have for breakfast. So now for dinner, we got to come up with something else.
Beet juice.
Yeah, I put. Oh, this is good too, guys. She serves beet juice in a restaurant, but I do beet, pineapple, and lemon with a little agave and some water, and you have a nice fruit punch. Agave. I have a series coming out.
That's right.
Right, I have a series that Babette is actually in.
I'm
it's
in
coming
the
out.
series.
She's in because she's in everything that I do, and it's called Extraction. So in a minute, I'm going to be promoting that. And you guys got to support that. It's Black women who came together to produce their own project, and we talk about beet lemonade in it. And the girl
is having.
We don't want to tell them.
We won't tell them. Okay, but anyway,
is
it time to go?
It's time to go.
We don't want to go,
but we gotta go because I'm hungry. Bye, guys. Love you all. Thank you.
See you next Sunday.
Bye bye.